So, it's the end of yet another week, and here on this channel, that means one thing and one thing only. Every weekend, I post an episode of this series we do called Your Take Not Mine, where I turn to you, the viewers, to give me your hottest NBA takes of the week based on what's going on at the time, and I then choose my favorite submissions, and discuss them in a video. This week, a lot went down both on and off the court, including trade rumors heating up, and primetime matchups battling it out, so of course, we have plenty to discuss. In order to submit your takes, I make a community post on either the day of or the day before the video, similar to the one that you see on your screen now, so if you want a chance to be featured in a future episode, be sure to stay on the lookout for that. Before we start though, if you enjoy the content, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as not only does it help out a ton, but I would also very much appreciate it. Now with that being said, let's begin. The first take we'll be discussing today comes to us from Robert, and he says that the Lakers will only be a 6 to 8 seed in the playoffs this season. At the moment, this doesn't seem like that hot of a take, but if you were to make a statement like this before the season started, you would have been called crazy, and probably would have gotten harassed by a swarm of Laker fans calling you a hater. The Lakers came into this season as the favorites to win the West because of how many moves they made to retool their roster around LeBron James and Anthony Davis, but needless to say, a lot of those moves have proven to be somewhat flawed, and the roster has way more weaknesses than anticipated. Right now, the Lakers are in 6th place in the Western Conference standings, which is right in the range that the take at hand states they will finish at, and with a record of only one game above 500, not much has been that impressive about their season to this point. LeBron James is still balling, putting up 30 or more points in 4 of his last 6 games, but at his age, he is starting to show some wear and tear, suffering more frequent injuries than we've been accustomed to seeing from him in the past. On top of that, Russell Westbrook is as sporadic and up and down as ever, and even Anthony Davis just isn't bringing the same impact that's expected of him. Davis doesn't like to battle through physicality, which is a big reason why he's always been so hesitant to play the center position. His jumper has been completely broken this year, ranking as one of the least efficient three-point shooters and mid-range shooters in the league so far, and on top of all of that, the team's defense ranks at about a league average spot after being the #1 defense in the NBA a season ago. With all of this being said though, I do still see a path for them to get a top 4 seed if they turn things up. It just isn't going to be easy at all for them. The next take we'll be discussing comes to us from Tom, and he says that Zion Williamson is the modern-day Greg Oden because of all of the similarities in their journeys and stories. This one definitely seems harsh on the surface, but you can't deny that there are at least some noticeable similarities between the two. Greg Oden is known by most NBA fans as a bust because of the fact that he was drafted #1 overall, but never got to live up to the hype of a player in that spot because of his terrible and unfortunate track record with injuries, on top of the fact that he was taken 1 spot ahead of Kevin Durant that year. Zion's been through a lot this season so far regarding his health, and with how well Ja Morant was playing early on this season, you can obviously see the parallels in this situation. Zion Williamson got surgery in the offseason and was on track to recover fully in time to return early on in the year, but he's suffered setback after setback, and now with the news that just broke this week stating that he's getting shut down again from participating in basketball activities after it originally looked like he would be able to play again soon, everyone is now rightfully worried. The only times we've seen Zion this year on the sidelines, he has looked visibly overweight, and there have been rumors floating around about him weighing as much as 330 pounds. Zion is one hell of a talent, and he's literally coming off of a historically great season when it comes to scoring dominance in the paint, but if he can't keep himself in shape, then the likelihood of him re-injuring himself will continue to be present, and the setbacks will continue to come. I really hope it doesn't get to that in the long run, and he is still very young with plenty of time to get things back on track, but there's no question that this season has been nothing short of a disaster. The next take we'll be discussing today comes to us from Tangy, and he says that Evan Mobley should be the leading player in the Defensive Player of the Year race right now. Mobley has been making his presence felt from day one of his rookie season this year, and his prominence on defense is unlike any rookie we've seen in quite some time. Mobley is blocking 1.9 shots per game, ranking him in the top 10 in the league, but his prowess as both a rim protector and an overall versatile defender goes beyond typical box score averages. The Cavaliers have been one of the worst teams in the league over the last few seasons, but this year, they have become elite, ranking as the third best team on defense this season. On top of that, Mobley's impact is one of the biggest reasons for how they've accomplished this, as the team is allowing a whopping 11.5 fewer points per 100 possessions when Mobley is on the court compared to when he's on the bench. Mobley has incredible instincts as a defender, and his discipline to contest shots without fouling is well beyond his years, and on top of that, he's also comfortable switching out onto the perimeter to hound smaller, quicker players, which is why the Cavaliers can play him at power forward alongside Jarrett Allen at the same time. Because of this, he is definitely in the DPOY conversation, but he's not my leader for the award right now. Draymond Green has also been incredible on defense, and he's leading the Warriors to the #1 ranked team defense in the league right now, so he gets the nod from my point of view. But the fact that this is even a conversation is a massive nod of respect to Mobley as a rookie. And finally, the last take we'll be discussing today says that DeJounte Murray is a top 10 point guard in the league this year, and could even walk away with the Most Improved Player award when it's all said and done. The Spurs are in a bit of a transition period as a team, so a lot of what's been happening with them this year has flown under the radar, and Murray's growth this year is definitely one of those things. Murray's now in his 6th year in the NBA, and for the most part, he's been someone who has excelled as a perimeter defender, but now his offensive game is coming into its own as well. Murray this season is averaging a very impressive 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists per game, and he really is one of the best rebounding guards in the league, with a knack for grabbing them and pushing the pace immediately. What's been most promising is the development as an overall playmaker though, as it used to be one of the things that people would knock him for, and now it's becoming one of his strengths. With balanced production like that, he definitely is approaching the conversation of being one of the better point guards in the NBA, but top 10 might still be a stretch. The point guard position is one of the most stacked in the league at the moment, and Murray's career best production is coming on a rebuilding team near the bottom of the standings, so I'm not gonna fully overreact quite yet. He's definitely having a phenomenal season. I just don't think top 10 at the position is where he is at the moment for now, but he definitely could get there. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think about the takes we discussed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.